Hello, world and universe. Welcome to the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth. And if you're new to the channel, please hit that like and subscribe button. And for all my continued followers, I want to say thank you. And this is an opinion-based video channel where I try to open your eyes and ears up to some of the travails and tribulations that take place throughout our cities, our states, our country, and sometimes around the world. And this story I have for you today is all about public safety, about moving around in our communities and our cities in a safe haven. And our public safety is on the brink of being chaotic and disruptive. There are a large number of assaults, shootings, stabbings that are taking place on our public transportation systems, whether it's in St. Louis, Philadelphia, New York City, London, Chicago. People cannot even walk around or move around in our major cities without worrying about being robbed, assaulted, let alone killed. And Chicago has a lot of chaos and disruption taking place with carjackings, shoplifting, looting, assaults, of course, numerous murders and shootings that are taking place. And I have a very sad story for you that took place a few months ago in Chicago, where a 76-year-old man was beaten to death at a CTA bus stop. You're also seeing a large panacea of young folks that have a certain level of disrespect for their elders. Is this a result of fatherless homes? We have a huge opioid crisis. We have a huge mental health issues that are taking place with many people that are going untreated and undiagnosed. The opioid crisis, homelessness, helplessness, joblessness, and the level of inhumanity that people are displacing against each other is at an all-time high. And two incidents happened in Chicago at this particular neighborhood that happened simultaneously, and both scenarios are not very good. You're talking about Chicago has a lot going on from the mayor's administration. Chicago's on the verge of bankruptcy. There's been immigration issues. There's a lot going on for Mayor Brandon Johnson. I don't think he's doing a great job. We are understaffed with police officers, and I'm telling you, public safety is at a risk. Just riding the bus or public transit systems, whether it's the Metrolink, the L in Chicago, or the New York City subway, you have to keep your head on a swivel. We know about instances that took place in North Carolina where a man stabbed a young woman to death. There's been innumerable amounts of violence that takes place in New York City subways, Philadelphia, Chicago, and it is making it very tough for people who do not have cars or that utilize public transportation. They could be putting their health at risk. And these two stories here are terribly sad, and let's get into it. And of course, this is definitely going to affect Chicago tourism. I think Chicago is the heartbeat of America. Sits right in the center of the Midwest. It's the third or fourth largest city, and we need Chicago to be a healthy city. But there is a lot of chaos and disruption that's going on in Chicago. So this happened a couple months ago where a 76-year-old man, was beaten to death in Chicago's Washington Heights neighborhood. Then a woman and two kids got carjacked on the same block minutes later. Same block minutes later. So the search is on for a man who beat a senior citizen to death at a Chicago bus stop. The attack in the Washington Heights neighborhood on the south side was caught on video. Minutes after the man was killed, a woman and two children were carjacked on the same block. Police said a 76-year-old man was attacked around 9:15 on a Monday in a CTA bus stop shelter at 95th and Halstead Streets. Surveillance video shows the victim and the suspect inside a bus stop shelter. One man stands up and punches the other in the face. That man retaliates and beats the victim to the ground and beats him to the ground and repeatedly stumps on his head. Police found the man on the ground with trauma to his head. He was taken to Advocate Christ Medical Center in Oaklawn, where he was pronounced dead. At the scene, shattered glass was spotted on the ground, along with what appeared to be a baseball hat. Police said whoever attacked the man got away. Around 9:30 p.m., a 60-year-old woman, now listen to these ages, a 76-year-old man gets beat to death, and now a 60-year-old woman who was in her car with a 3-year-old girl and a 14-year-old boy. They were carjacked on the same block as where the 76-year-old man was attacked. Police said they were sitting in a green Kia Telluride when a man got in the car, implied he had a gun, and told them to get out. After the victims got out of the car, the man drove south on Halstead. Police said the woman and the children were not hurt, thank God. Area 2 detectives were investigating whether the beating, death, and the carjacking were connected. No one has been taken into custody in either of the incidences. This is a very sad situation. And statistically, they're saying that 60% of the homicides that are taking place in Chicago go unsolved. How in the world is that happening when we have surveillance cameras all over the place? There is an understaffing. Chicago needs probably about 2,500 police officers in their departments to ensure public safety. We definitely need to get the bad apples out of the police department, and we need good law-abiding police officers. They need to be paid more. They need to be respected more. But what this situation that's taking place in Chicago with the level of violence that is erupting, it's almost as if Chicago is living inside of America as a third world country. Something needs to be done about the level of violence and the public safety risk for tax-paying citizens and positive people that are trying to move around Chicago. These same instances have taken place in St. Louis. These same instances have taken place in Philadelphia, in Atlanta. Something needs to be said and done about it. This is a 76-year-old man who's at the bus stop, probably waiting to catch the bus to go home, and then probably someone way younger than him that looks like him, could probably be his son or grandson, probably committed this crime against this 76-year-old man. What could a 76-year-old man done to this other person to elicit this kind of reaction where he stumps this 76-year-old man's head in the ground and ends up killing him? And then simultaneously, right after that, a 60-year-old woman with 2 kids in the car gets carjacked. What in the world is taking place? Here again, I think there needs to be more police officers on the street. We have gotten to a point in today's society where the temperament for violence, conflict mediation, and conflict resolution has gone out the window, and something needs to be done. We are living in a godless society. We need to put God at the center of our universe and our soul, and we need to look at other human beings with a certain level of positive humanity versus a huge level of destructive behavior. This is a very unfortunate situation that took place in Chicago a few months ago, but it is happening all the time in all of our major cities. It doesn't make a difference what color, creed, gender that you are. You're at risk leaving your home and definitely riding public transportation. There are people, like I said earlier, undiagnosed mental illness, untreated, the opioid crisis, homelessness, and helplessness has been an abundance in many of our people's lives today. And there are very many people that are struggling, and the way that they are dealing with their issues is lashing out at other human beings in desperation and causing great harm to mankind and folks just trying to get through the day. I bring these stories up just to bring it to your attention. We must keep our head on a swivel and pay attention to things that are going on, whether you're at the grocery store, at the mall. Negative eruption is taking place each and every day, and it's very unfortunate. This is a very unfortunate story for this 76-year-old man to have lived his life and for it to end at the decimation and demise of his death at a Chicago bus stop. And what do you think about the second story of a 60-year-old woman getting carjacked with a 3-year-old and a 14-year-old? For those children that experience that kind of level of violence, that's PTSD at its best. They're going to need therapy. The 60-year-old woman, I'm sure, is scared the heck out of her. We're living in this fearless and baseless society that's filled with a huge level of inhumanity, and we need to get God-centered and start loving each other one person at a time. I tell you all the time, the unforeseen will become seen and the unbelievable will become believable. This is the Trevor Donald Experience. Manifest your truth.